Delivery services like Aisles Online would have been inconceivable just a decade ago. But shopping habits aren't what they used to be, thanks to the advent of the internet.
Use that or completely eliminate it, and that will promote a healthier ground layer of herbaceous plants like grass.
Organizers hope such forms will help counteract negative stereotypes and dispel damaging disinformation about Islam and its adherents. The day has come at UNO where students will now become the teachers. Students like Avery Wink in the Media Literacy Education Lab have spent the past 10 weeks in preparation for this event.
The biggest thing for us is going to be how can we teach these kids about media literacy and make them aware of it.
This is their chance to impart what they've learned to middle school students from Lewis and Clark, where such a curriculum has yet to be standardized. But their case is far from unique. The U.S. lags behind other industrialized nations in regard to media literacy.
Use that or completely eliminate it, and that will promote a healthier ground layer of herbaceous plants like grass.
This collaboration was just what graduate program chair Adam Tima had in mind when he first shaped the course.
My thought was, why not create a curriculum that goes directly at 7th and 8th graders in this event now, as opposed to us training other teachers, we're going to be teaching the students ourselves.
In an age when technology's presence is felt virtually everywhere, such an effort will likely prove indispensable. And it's a task that Wink sees as his responsibility.
As college students, we want to have an impact on society, and to a smaller extent, we want to have an impact on the community here.
For the Omaha News, I'm Michael Halula. Today might look like a picture-perfect day here at Fontenelle Forest, but there are many things within this frame that simply don't belong. And Janine Lackey is thinking long-term in order to restore the portrait to its former luster.
We'll have our burn equipment out there. We have water in these tanks to take out there on the trails with us.
Lackey is speaking of an oak restoration effort meant to minimize the presence of invasive vegetation through controlled burnings. The invigorating endeavor will begin once the first frost sets in and all the leaves have fallen. The common misconception is that fire only plays a destructive role in an ecosystem like Fontenelle Forest. But in actuality, a prescribed fire could be of enormous benefit to the area as a whole. The slow-moving 6-inch flames will use leaf litter and down logs to remove so-called invasives like honeysuckle and garlic mustard from smothering local plant life. Biologists like Michelle Foss know that neither chemical use nor manual clearing may be better alternatives. The controlled burns may not return the forest to its original pristine condition, but the effort should go a long way in restoring Fontenelle to a much healthier state.
And it's not going to happen quickly, but over time, once we get our burn program up and running, it'll just be a more effective way to control the invasive species.
I think the more you know about who these people are, whether they're Christians, Muslims, and so on, the more you're willing to understand them and hopefully accept them.
On November 14th, 2015, the American public awoke to a world rocked by terror. UNO's Dr. Rosamond Kalinch and his colleagues have undertaken the task to ensure that everyone is informed following the Paris attacks.
We just try to give a perspective, answer questions, try to keep up the community with what's going on and share our perspectives on the events there as local experts at UNO.
Kalinch and his colleagues at the University of Nebraska at Omaha hope that public discussions are a necessary response to the attacks in Paris, Lebanon, and Syria. This irrational fear of Muslims, or Islamophobia, is what Kalinch and others yearn to erase. Organizers hope such forms will help counteract negative stereotypes and dispel damaging disinformation about Islam and its adherents. Creighton's Dr. Nasser Al-Sharif also believes that Islamophobia and other fears don't happen in a vacuum.
There has been a lot of misunderstanding, misconceptions, and so on about Muslims, whether due to historical reasons, whether it's due to the education system here in the United States, social media.
In the end, one solution for Islamophobia may be as simple as an open forum where people of all faiths come together. For the Omaha News, I'm Michael Halula. It's Friday night at Krypton Comics, and magic is in the air.
It's all across the spectrum, all walks of life.
Resident gaming expert Eric Peters has seen just about all kinds.
I have seen every single type of person come in and play this game. You know, it helps to have a bit of a competitive streak, but it's not necessary.
Each Friday brings droves of people into Krypton as they cast spells and wage war with Magic the Gathering. Magic is a strategy trading card game played by tens of millions across the planet in nearly a dozen different languages, and its popularity is on the rise.
Magic's increasing popularity is but the latest aspect of once nerdy niche culture becoming more accepted by the mainstream public. These days, being a nerd may be just about the coolest thing to be.
In 2015, comic book movies are grossing billions collectively, and other comic properties are becoming cultural sensations on basic cable. It's a change that local Magic player Bobby Martin has seen take root in recent years.
Nowadays, so many people play video games, and it's like, multi-billion-dollar industry. It's the same as like if you like sports.
And Peters has his own theory concerning the acceptance of nerd culture's contributions to the wider world.
People are going to try more things. They're a lot more open-minded now than they were even 10, 15 years ago.
So, get to work.
Exclusive tonight, an artist who turned his life around after living on the streets. What he's doing to contribute to the community. I'm Layla Shuri.
And I'm Michael Halula. Coming up, the feelings of gratitude that are being expressed through graffiti. How Council Bluffs Hospital is embracing interactive art as a means of appreciation. These stories and more, right here on the Omaha News.
This is the Omaha News, presented by the School of Communication at the University of Nebraska at Omaha, from the studios of UNO Television.
With the first day of winter only a few weeks away, the holiday season has arrived, and along with it, some of Omaha's most cherished Christmas traditions. One of them, of course, is the Salvation Army Christmas tree at 90th and Dodge. Omaha News reporter Matt Barrows joins us from there to tell us about a new addition at the display. In the year 2015, less than 1% of original oak savannas remain intact in the wake of westward expansion. The historic oak woodland of Fontenelle Forest represents one such ecosystem. The Fontenelle staff is hoping the coming months will usher in an effort to give the forest a much-needed facelift. And it's a face that few alive have ever seen before. The number of animal abuse charges is lower this year than they have been previously, but the Nebraska Humane Society is still very busy taking care of these special animals. Jamie Schmitz explains what the Humane Society does for these animals with a painful past. That does it for this week's edition of the Omaha News.
From all of us here, thanks for joining us, and good night.